Talking Point. My name is Oliver Grimes. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. I'm super excited for today, for what we have in store. It's been about a week since the last episode went up. Today is going to be Tuesday. Tomorrow we have the vice presidential debates between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. That episode's going to go up on Friday. But today we are talking about the debates between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. This happened last Tuesday, if I'm correct. And because of some school stuff, I couldn't upload on Friday, but I'm working all of this out. I'm getting it all set up to where I can upload on that strict schedule. Now, before we start, I just want to make two quick announcements, two different statements. I'm going to try to keep this under about a minute. As of now, we just got approved for by Apple, so we're now on iTunes. We are also on Apple Podcasts. So if you want to go through that, you can download the Apple Podcast app on your phone if you have an iPhone, and watch it through there, or find it on iTunes. We are also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So we're on all of those platforms now. I'm really happy that that's finally done. We were waiting on Apple's approval for a while, and I'm glad it finally came through. And then as far as social media, I am on Facebook. You can just look up the Talking Point podcast. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be at the Talking Point podcast. I'm on Twitter. That's going to be Talking Point POD. And I am also on Patreon. If you're not too aware of what Patreon is, it's a website that helps crowdfund and kind of helps support creators and help them keep doing what they're doing. So for me, I'm a broke college student. I don't have that much disposable income, and it does cost a fair amount of money every month to actually run this. I have to pay, distribution fees. I have to pay fees for the editing software. And different things like that. So if you would like to financially support, you can go to patreon.com/thetalkingpoint and donate there. But if you don't want to, or you don't have the means to, that's totally fine. You can watch this for free. Just go on YouTube, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I would really appreciate that. So also, if you want to find any of the links that are given today, they are going to be in the description of the YouTube video. So I kept that really quick. I kept that under about a minute. So, to begin, today we're talking about Joe Biden and President Donald Trump's debate that happened last Tuesday. It was very, very interesting. There was a lot of stuff that went down, and I think a lot of things that people haven't been pointing out. I think that a lot of the Donald Trump supporters have been coming in and say, that is the Donald Trump we missed. That is the guy who lit Hillary Clinton up in 2016 and who created that spark and that fire and made us want to go out and vote for him. I think that's what a lot of the Trump supporters are saying. And I think a lot of the Biden supporters are name-calling. They're saying, Donald Trump, he came out, he was being, for lack of better words, I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm saying. A particular word that starts with a D. He was being rude. He was being uncordial and unpresidential. I think that's what most of the people on the left would say. And then as far as the moderates, I think they would agree more with the left. In my opinion, being someone who can, who typically sides with the president, but who can see both sides and who is thinking objectively, I honestly think that Donald Trump lost this debate. I have facts to prove it. But other than facts, I just have my own opinions. And like most episodes that I have done in the past where it's based heavily on statistics and facts and I have a lot of things to link, I think I only have 3 different sources for this episode. The majority of it is going to be my opinion, and my opinion only. So to begin with, for those who are saying that Donald Trump won, I just want to put up 3 different things really quickly that might disprove that, so I can set up my argument for what Donald Trump needs to do to win in the future. So this comes from Reuters.com. Reuters.com reported on September 29th, they said, Biden campaign raises its biggest hourly sum as first debate ends. And then they go on to say U.S. presidential nominee Joe Biden's campaign broke its single-hour fundraising record as the Democrats' debate with President Donald Trump wrapped up on Tuesday, pulling in $3.8 million, a campaign official said. Moving on from Reuters, then we go to NBC News. NBC News then had to say Biden's national lead over Trump jumps to 14 points after debate in the NBC News / Wall Street Journal poll. And they go on to say, Joe Biden's national lead over President Donald Trump nearly doubled after Tuesday's presidential debate, with the voters saying by 2-1 that Biden has the better temperament to be president. And the last statistic, excuse me for bringing up my phone. This comes from CBS News Battleground Tracker. They took a poll after the debate and asked, they just asked people, did they think that the debate made you think better, worse, or no change as far as, thinking better of the person? Joe Biden, 38% people said they felt better of him, and then for Donald Trump, only 24% said it made them feel better than him. Joe Biden, 32% said it made them feel worse of him, whereas Donald Trump had 42% of people say it made them feel worse of him. So I think it's very clear, and I think it's very obvious, even to hardcore Trump supporters, that for the most part, Donald Trump lost this debate. I think on content and overall performance, I think Donald Trump did great. I think he came out with stamina. I think he came out knowing his facts, knowing his statistics, really showing for a 70-year-old guy, he is still sharp. Even after 4 years in the presidency, I think he looked extremely sharp and quick, and it is something that so many Trump supporters have missed since 2016. So while I think that he really cemented his supporters, he cemented his base, I don't think that is what he needed to do. I don't think cementing his base will take him anywhere. Of course, Donald Trump's base is not going anywhere. When he came out, I think almost 5 years ago, and said, I could go out on Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and I would not lose a single voter, I think he was right. I think Donald Trump's base is one of the most radical bases, for better or for worse, that you will ever find in presidential history. I think that those people who fly MAGA flags and wear MAGA hats and all this, they are going to keep voting for him. That's not a question. But he's not going to win this election off of those people solely. It is impossible. What Donald Trump has to do is he has to secure a decent amount of moderates, of moderate votes. He has to win, he has to win swing states like Texas and Florida to win this election. And I don't know if he can, if he continues to come out and perform like he did in this first debate. What a lot of people and what a lot of moderates think that really turned them off to Donald Trump in this debate, from my understanding, is the fact that he acted childish, he took personal attacks, and he interrupted multiple times, which I agree with. Of course, we know our president. We know Donald Trump is not the most presidential human being on earth. But with that being said, I think he needs to take a drastically different charge at the next debate. I think what he needs to do, he needs to take himself out of the spotlight, which is going to be tough, especially for the guy's ego. He needs to take himself out of the spotlight, and he needs to put Joe Biden in it. Now, you might be saying, why would he do that? He loves press coverage. He loves publicity, all this. What I think he did not do enough of is I do not think he let the American people know how bad of a politician Joe Biden was. He wouldn't let him finish. I mean, Donald Trump would come in, beg a question, and then interrupt immediately as Joe Biden was trying to answer said question. I'll just put up a few clips right now of the bad things that I think that Donald Trump said in this debate.
The last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a big chunk of Obamacare. That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
Sir,
Chris, that was the worst part of Obama.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. I got rid of it.
I'd like
and we will protect people with
President, I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer your question.
I'm very lucky tonight as well. And tonight I'm going to make sure, because here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agree.
want to make sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
You graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
Mr. President, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
You picked
You'd be surprised.
the
Go ahead,
wrong
Joe.
guy, the wrong
Joe,
night
go.
at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let him.
There is no manifesto, number
Please
one.
let him speak, Mr.
Number
President.
two.
You just lost the left.
Number two.
You just lost the left.
Take care of it if he just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here,
Oh, really?
Here's the thing.
I sent in the
I
U.S.
asked him a
Marshals
question.
to get the killer
No,
of the young man in the middle of the street. They shot him, and for 3 days,
President Trump,
Portland wouldn't do anything. I had to send in the U.S. Marshals.
President
They
Trump,
took care of business.
Go ahead, sir.
And by the way, his own.
All right, so you saw some of the bad things. These were some of the clips where I thought, Donald Trump could have done a lot better. What I think he needs to do going forward, okay, is take a whole different approach. I think he needs to hit extremely hard on certain subjects that he knows he can win. One of those is going to be healthcare. And that, not even that he has a solid plan, I think he needs to ask Joe Biden what his healthcare strategy is and make him split the left. Make him split the radicals and the moderates in half. If he can do that, then he will lose either one of those sides. If Donald Trump can make him talk about healthcare, if he can make him talk about the Green New Deal, if he can make him talk about immigration, or even Hunter Biden, those are just 4 things that I think he could bring up, pose the question, and let it be a ticking time bomb. That's my opinion of what he should do. I mean, think about it. Donald Trump goes up, he says, Joe Biden, what is this money from the wife of the mayor of Moscow that your son received? He received some amount of millions of dollars out of nowhere. Where did that come from? And then he doesn't interrupt or anything. He lets Joe Biden answer the question, stumble over it, and show how bad and how mentally incapable he is. That is what he has to do. Donald Trump's not going to win over the moderate by showing how loud he can be. He's going to win over the moderates by showing how bad Joe Biden is. So what Donald Trump needs to do going forward in the next, hopefully there will be 2 debates, in the next 2 debates, he needs to pose questions and he needs to let Joe Biden be Joe Biden's worst enemy. I know, it's crazy. But again, Green New Deal. This is a very divisive topic when it comes to the left. Because you have your moderates on the left that are just barely on the left, and then you have your radical leftists who are all full-blown socialist communists. And they are the ones who are supporting the Green New Deal. And I think Donald Trump did this well. He asked the question, do you support the Green New Deal? Joe Biden said no. That split the left right there. But what he needs to do instead this time, ask the same question, let him finish. The voters can make up their own mind. But I do not think this performance was beneficial for Donald Trump just for the sake of him coming in and yelling. I don't think it did anything. I don't think it gave him any advantage. I think those people who like Donald Trump, who are already a part of his base, they're not going anywhere. There's no need to win them over. They've already been won. They were won over in 2016. 2017, 2018, 2019. They've been won over. What he needs to do is secure the moderate vote and the woman vote. Bear with me. Women do not like this type of yelling and screaming and name-calling. Call me a sexist, call me whatever you want. I've talked to multiple people who have said the exact same thing. They've said, my girlfriend, she was a registered Republican, and then she watched the debate. She said she's not voting anymore. I've heard this probably 5 times now. Okay? Face the facts. Women do not like yelling, screaming at each other, name-calling. They think it's childish. They think it's inappropriate and unpresidential. And Donald Trump has to face the facts. 50% of this country is female. So to win this debate, he has to appeal to the moderates. Not the debate, excuse me. To win this election, he has to appeal to the moderates and he has to appeal to the women. Okay, those are two extremely important things, and I don't think that he can successfully do that if he continues on this path of yelling and screaming. He has to let Joe Biden be Joe Biden's own worst enemy. Okay, and one thing that I found weird, which I'm not going to push a conspiracy theory or anything, but did you guys see Joe Biden's eyes? I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to leave it at that. Joe Biden's eyes were about as black as a great white shark. I mean, it was actually scary. And he has blue eyes, historically. I mean, eyes don't really change color until you get on a debate and you're tweaking out on speed or Adderall or something. I'm not going to push that. I'm not going to push that narrative. But just some food for thought. If you want to go watch some of the clips, pay attention to his eyes. It's pretty interesting. I think that some of the jokes that Donald Trump pulled out, some of the satire, some of the comedy, excuse me, I keep pulling up my phone because I have a timer on here. Some of the comedy, some of the jokes in there I thought were really good. But nobody likes the interrupting. Okay? And Chris Wallace said it. Even Chris Wallace was scared of the idea that, you know, a moderator can mute either of the candidates' mics. That's something that's being, that's been floating around for the next debate, a kind of idea that the moderator can silence and mute one of the mics if the talking gets out of hand. I think Donald Trump needs to actually just look himself in the mirror, drop the ego for the next two debates, win this election, and then he can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He can talk and yell as much as he wants once he wins this election, but if he does not drop the ego and start taking this more seriously, I don't know if I can see a win. And look, I'm the first person to tell you, if you asked me a month ago who's going to win this election, I would have put every single dollar I had on Donald Trump. Not because I'm biased, not because, I'm a diehard Donald Trump fan. I was thinking about this objectively. I was thinking, what is going to happen? Seeing the rioting, seeing the looting, that really made me believe that Donald Trump was going to win because he spoke about law and order. You see record gun sales. You saw Smith & Wesson stock just skyrocket. These type of things made me believe wholeheartedly that Donald Trump was going to win this election. And I would have bet on that a month ago. But after this debate, I don't know. After seeing those numbers, the numbers, Joe Biden raises $3.8 million right after the debate. People speak with their checkbooks. Excuse me if I got that saying wrong. People speak with their money. That's how you find out what's going on. Joe Biden's betting odds in Vegas, not technically Vegas because you can't bet on elections, but on all of these international sites, these gambling sites, Joe Biden went up. Okay, that's real people's money. He raised $3.8 million. That's an all-time record. When people speak with their money, you have to pay attention to that. Look, I don't believe polls. I cited this poll that, Donald Trump, or Joe Biden, his national lead jumped, to 14 points above Donald Trump. I said that. Do I believe it? Sure, I don't care. Honestly, I'm not a poll hound. I don't like paying attention to the polls. I mean, if you paid attention to the polls every single day, you would have put all of your money and all your chips in on Hillary Clinton in 2016. She was leading pretty much every national poll, every state poll, every single one you could find. Hillary Clinton was leading. And she lost. So I don't put too much weight and I don't pay too much attention to polls. It's not something that I really stress about. But when you're talking about people's money, they take it a lot more seriously. And it's scary to see that type of money being raised immediately after the debate. I don't think Donald Trump's base is big enough to win the election for him again. I don't think he's indestructible. I think there have to be serious changes, and he needs to figure something out because I'm not too confident if he can win. If he has, one or even two more performances like this. Now, we're 30 days out from voting. So he needs to figure out a strategy, get to it, work at it, and hopefully pull something together. Those have been my thoughts on it. I'm going to put some of my favorite clips from the debates at the end of this video, just for some of you who maybe didn't watch it or didn't really care to see it. But I'm going to put those in right now. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you do want to go donate, go to patreon.com/thetalkingpoint. If you want to go to any of those social medias, they're all going to be at the beginning of the video. And I'll put them on the screen right now. I don't know where it's going to be, probably right here, one of those. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Here's some clips from the debates, and have a great one.
Then he goes forward. If not, we should wait until February.
All right. There aren't 100 million people with pre-existing conditions. As far as the say is concerned, the people already had their say. Okay, Justice Ginsburg said very powerfully, very strongly, at some point, 10 years ago or so, she said a president and the Senate is elected for a period of time, but a president's elected for 4 years. We're not elected for 3 years. I'm not elected for 3 years. So we have the Senate, we have a president.
He's elected to the next
during
election.
that period of time, we have an opening. I'm not elected for 3 years. I'm elected for 4 years. And the 100 million people, Joe, the 100 million people is totally wrong. I don't know where you got that number. The bigger problem that you have is that you're going to extinguish 180 million people with their private health care that they're very happy with.
That's simply not true.
Well, you're certainly going to socialist. You're going to socialist medicine.
We're now into, gentlemen, we're now into...
Because guess what? A lot of people died, and a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
Mr. President?
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. 47 years, you've done nothing.
Let's have this.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing to do
specifically
that, but
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
Soggy Murrah.